Hello students and team members. Today we're going to be showing you how to log your hours into Workday. I'm Scott Falstrom, the Faculty Director of the STEM and Math Learning Centers. So let's jump in. The quickest way to get there is probably by going to the A to Z index, clicking on P, and that'll get you into the Portal Guard single sign-on. The portal is where you can go to get access to all of the training aids, and I'll show that as well briefly. So first step, I'm going to click in the single sign-on. Most of you have your two-factor authentication set up, so it takes just a moment for you to get a message to your cell phone that says it is you. We're going to ask you to put all of your information into Workday itself. So I'm going to click on that. All of you, when you log into Workday, will have an inbox, an announcement, places up top for notifications, as well as an inbox if any messages are sitting there. For most of you, you'll want to log in to check your personal information, including contact, personal information, emergency contacts, your photo, preferred name if different than your legal name, as well as addresses and any address changes. If at any time you get kind of stuck in the product, you can always click on the blue MiraCosta logo at the top left, and that'll take you back to your home page. Most of what you'll do here is maybe checking pay stubs and entering any time. However, because there is no way for us to show you how to enter time with my login, we're going to switch over to someone else who is a student worker and apprentice. We're going to show you what it looks like from there. And that's because I have a lot more icons just because of the supervisory role. Okay, I indicated that in the portal, MiraCosta portal, you would be able to find all of your Workday support. So this is where you can go find support in Workday. And if you click on Resources, down at the bottom it says Workday Training. So if you click on Workday Training, this is where you can find all of the help aids that are meant for each position. Find Training by Role, and then you can go across and see where you are. Most of you will be entering things under temporary workers. That's apprentices, apprentice 1s, 2s, and 3s. If you are a student worker, then you would click on the student worker piece. Again, most of you are students and workers, but you may not qualify as a student worker. So clicking on the temporary worker would get you to the job aids there. You'll notice there are short videos on the side about how to log in, change your profile photo, and many other pieces. If you're interested in what we're about to do, you would find Manage Your Time. And if you click on Manage Your Time, it will download a PDF. It is not viewable inside the program. You would have to download it. On here, you'll notice you'll be logging in, and there will have little notes throughout. So I encourage you to look through this one. It is 12 pages long, but most of that is the pictures, and they do try to blow them up, as you can see, taking up quite a bit of space. All right, let's jump into Workday and assume that you have already read through this piece. So a shout out to Rachel, who was willing to share her screen while we were going through this. Let's go to the time module there, and we'll go ahead and you can select a week. Let's just click last week at this point, which is July 6th through the 12th. And go ahead and click Enter Time. With the Enter Time option, she could go up and click on any day of the week and enter her time. You could also click on the day of the week on the calendar, but then it gives you very limited options. And so if you have an in and out shift, meaning you have a lunch break in the middle, it's probably easier to use the enter time piece. If you're working a very short shift for the day and you don't have any meal breaks, then it's probably quicker for you to do the click on the calendar option. So Rachel's doing a great job here. She put down 9:30 to 1:15, and she came back at 3:30. And so she had a little bit of a longer break because of a class she was taking. And make sure, do you see how she's clicking her position and hours worked in each one of the boxes that she needs to? her reason code is out at the end of the day and it's a meal earlier. Okay, she clicks OK and your changes have been saved. And if you had multiple in and out times on a day, you could click on a plus sign near the top to add another entry box on that day. Also, if you're working in multiple positions around campus, you want to make sure that you put in and out times for all of those positions, even if it's not the STEM and Math Learning Centers. All right, let's take a look. Now you'll notice the Wednesday hours have been added. There's her longer block right there in the middle. That looks great. As you go forward, you will be putting your hours into Workday every day, and then we'll be submitting them once a week only. So do not submit every day. You should submit only once a week. If you work elsewhere on campus, you may want to check with that group to see if they have a different process, but it should be pretty similar. Now you'll notice a small yellow alert up at the top. That alert is not related to you. If you work more than a certain number of hours per week, it will give you this alert. However, that alert is for student workers, not for temporary staff, and so hopefully by the time you see this video, the alert is only showing up for student workers. Notice you can choose to view by the day or the week, but you cannot view Workday by the month. So for those of you wanting to see how much you're going to get paid in a month, you would have to go through each week and take your weekly hours. And if there's any weeks that are split between months, you only get paid for the days in one month, not for the entire week. The remainder would be paid in the subsequent month. When she's ready and done with that week, all the hours are entered correctly, and she checked it against any other programs. In Math and STEM, we use Sling. You can click Submit. This is where it'll show you a summary for all of your hours for the week, and you can enter any comments. You'll notice when she's ready, she can click Submit and then click Done. You'll notice after Rachel has submitted, it goes to Amy Powpow or whoever your timekeeper is in your area. Now notice if Rachel clicks the back arrow, she'll go back to the previous week, and you'll notice that even though she's clicked Submit, she clicked Submit on the current week and not the week before. So the hours were entered, but were not submitted. She will still need to click Submit for these hours in order to be approved for those as well. And she can click the Home button when she's done. So for this next part, we had Brianna Morris help us out. So I'll give a little shout out to Brianna. Why don't you go ahead and enter some time for this week? And so Bri's going to enter a couple of shifts, but she's going to use the calendar instead of the enter time option. Now notice she selects her position first, then the type of time, and she can enter from there the time in and the time out. So this is really important because she's found it to be much quicker to do it this way than to put hours worked. So put your position first. Bree, would you do one more for them, just so they can watch that one more time? Thank you. So she's going to click on the box, click Enter Time. She'll choose her appropriate role, then choose the time type, hours worked, and then it will pop up with the in and out. So you see her typing in, let's just do 10 o'clock is fine. And so she's going to work 10 till 2. That's 4 hours. Clicks OK, and you'll see it immediately populate with the gray lines indicating it's not yet submitted. Let's click on one of those to show how we can edit. So if you do put something incorrectly, would you mind? Yeah, click on that one, it's fine. And so she's going to click on this, and then she can come down and again make sure she's got her position. She can go back and adjust the time in or out, and then click OK, and it should automatically update on the screen. Once she has everything done for the week, if this was her entire week, then she'd be ready to go ahead and click Submit. So yeah, go ahead and click Submit for now. If there was something strange, she'd enter a comment. If these were not normal shifts, we can see it's going up to Amy Pow Pow next, and then she clicks done. So now it will say submitted on her time blocks, and she can see that. So that's a quick way to check and make sure that you've got everything correct. If you see the gray lines, not submitted, otherwise it'll show submitted. You may need to click the refresh button. The refresh button is required to see if you have any new messages in your inbox. The inbox is located at the top right corner. So if you've submitted something and you didn't log out and it got sent back to you, you will not see that icon show up unless you click refresh. Any shifts that are sent back to you may have an error. So if you click on the needs attention, the error is only related to one area. So you need to click view details and possibly history to see any comments. Most of the comments we send will be sent through email to alert you of a possible issue, because we know that trying to remember where to click in this is not great. But all comments are saved under history. Once you've fixed whatever needs attention, you just need to submit one more time. Rachel, click on her absence box. It kind of looks like a suitcase. Now, sick leave and healthy families have changed. Instead of giving you 24 hours front-loaded, you now have the ratio of 30:1 with a max of 24 hours. Okay, let's jump in and see how to enter these healthy family or sick hours. So just click like you're entering time normally, and you can click at the bottom to enter time, using that worklet at the bottom, choosing your day. And again, you're going to enter it very similar location, but this one, because it's hours and units, you're going to enter it at the bottom. So absences, meaning sick leave, would be at the bottom. We don't have you put down an in and an out time when you're putting in your sick leave. You just enter the number of hours. So Bree's going to enter 2 hours on this day. And I want you to notice that it is now located at the top of the day, so it's not during a time block. If you work a shift will be during a time block. If you have sick leave or healthy families, then it's going to show up near the top. So Bree, if you would mind clicking just regularly like you're going to enter, and enter your shift, and then you can choose absence directly from the calendar as well. So there are 2 ways to do it, and Bree's just showing you both ways. One using the click on the calendar, and the other one clicking on the enter time. Both of them show up at the top, which is, again, a quick way to reference it. And it's possible for you to have sick leave and worked hours on the same day. So you'd be able to see some sick leave at the top, and then your worked hours in the middle of the day. So Bree, why don't you go ahead and, let's submit these. It's just for a sample, so we will kind of send them back to be removed. So go ahead and click submit. And so you'll see that she's requesting 4 hours total time. And when she's ready, she can click submit. It goes like a normal time, just like you're submitting time, because you will be paid for those hours. And so let's go ahead, let's go into kind of see what it looks like. If you click on the enter time for that week, you'll see it's now submitted, so it won't have the gray kind of lines, it'll just be a solid gray. So let's, let's go back to the home page really quick and check on our absences. I want to kind of just see, and it does. So here's what it does, is it will absolutely, the second you hit submit, it will remove those hours from your balance, and that's the way that you know that you've used them. Do you mind clicking on the pay icon? There we go, thank you. So in the pay icon, you have an option of doing tax documents, taking your payment elections, and you can also click on pay slips. The only pay slips that will be in this system are the pay slips from Workday. all of your prior months will be paid through the old system on what's called PeopleSoft. And you can go to the Human Resources page and Payroll to find out exactly how to find those if you need a copy. Okay, she'll click the icon in the top left to get back to her home page. Okay, Rachel, let's click on the personal information because I think that's where the notifications are located. Oh, shoot, no, it's not. Try the cloud on the top right. There we go. And if you go down to My Account and underneath the Change Preferences, yeah, that one, then you should be able to change your notifications. So underneath your, let's see here, scroll down a little bit. I think it's under Account Preferences and Preferred Homepage. So if you scroll down a little ways further, there are notification preferences, and so you could get a notification when a background report completes or when something is shared, and you have the choice down here to choose whether you get email, mobile, or pop-up notifications, and then there's a long list of when you get notified. So if you want to be notified immediately, if you want to be notified once a week. So Rachel has chosen to be notified by email after she's submitted her time. Remember, she submitted it once and it was sent back, and then she submitted again. And the link on the email goes directly to the notification details, and she's able to look for additional details if needed. Would you mind clicking on the Help Desk portal? Right there, there's a link, perfect. Now this will take you over to the portal, and you'll notice the Workday Help Desk is located at the very top. So if you do have an issue where something is incorrect and you're not able to fix it, this is where you can submit a request to have that fixed on the back end. Let's see what it looks like if we try to submit a help desk request to Workday. So you'll have to enter your Miracosta email. Go ahead and click Next. Log in with single sign-on. Again, this is confirming your ID. Most of you have it set up to get the Duo push if you have the smartphone. If not, you will receive your two-factor authentication. Let's just enter other or skip the question. Now, this isn't really helpful for us. Let's just skip. Alright, now you'll notice categories. The categories are linked to different types of job tasks. So there's benefits, there's human resources, there's payroll. There's a lot of things that you probably won't have to deal with. For example, you won't have to deal with purchasing. You won't have to deal, for the most part, with role changes that will be handled by the supervisors. Happened. Phew. All right, well, we made it. Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. You being the person who is the go-to and testing it all for everybody. So I want to say thank you very much for that. And we're going to wrap this video up. If you have questions related to the STEM or Math Learning Center and how we do things, please send a message to myself or Amy Powpow. And if you have questions for your other supervisors in other areas, please make sure that you reach out to them in case they'd like things done differently. All right, off you go.